Hey there, it's Jenny from Southern Savers. Glad to have you guys join me. It's our Monday night Q&A. For me now, it's live from the in-laws. I told you guys we may not be here tonight, but we kind of made it work, and hopefully it will continue to work. So we basically moved from one farm to another. You live and enjoy country life because that's what you know. So I joked that we could leave the doors open and you guys could listen to the cows while we were on tonight, but hopefully the internet will hold and we'll have a great hour long of just learning new things and answering questions. That's the joy of Monday night Q&A. So if you're new, this is the first time you've seen this pop up in your feed, or you're joining for the first time on YouTube, you ask any questions you want in the comments and I will get to them as we go through. But I always bring a topic, and tonight I'm kind of throwing some of you for a loop. Thanks, Aaron. I will tell them that you speak their language and that you said hey back on the cows. So the plan originally was for us to discuss coupon organization, but I didn't bring all of the things that I normally would have for a workshop. So I didn't bring like my old coupon binder, which nobody should use, or any of that. So in terms of talking coupon organization, it's really hard to do if I don't have the things to show you. So I changed last minute this evening and decided that we would do a topic that a lot of folks have asked about, which is rewards programs and credit cards, to really max out some of the loyalty programs that are out there. And this is one that we personally love because it's how we can take some vacations using Marriott's rewards program that we have been a part of for a really long time. So it's a fun one. I actually sat down and started to make lists so I wouldn't forget them. Guys, there's so many rewards programs that it's a lot. So we could be here for a while. And Tiffany's already asking a question that's really not even on the list, but kind of goes along with the same one, which is what's their favorite rebate app? So many of the rewards programs now work exactly like the Ibotta and Checkout 51s that as we talk about those tonight, I had a feeling those would come in. My favorite, Tiffany, just in terms of answering your question off the bat, it's going to be a toss-up between Ibotta and Checkout 51. But I love that Checkout 51 resets their offers every single Thursday morning. And if you already did them on Wednesday and they come back, you can do them again. So I really, really like that one. They have the most antiquated payout, which is that they mail you a check, but I really like the program hands down. Laura is asking Walgreens specific as well, so we can get into your question too before we dive into all the others. Is Walgreens still the same rewards for points and points for rewards? So I think what you mean is that the way that we want to redeem them, I'm guessing. So Walgreens has 2 rewards programs. We can earn those balance reward points and we can earn register rewards. They don't work really well by themselves, so I don't want to use their points to get more things that give me points. But I can use their points to get this reward that's on paper and use their paper rewards to get more points, if that's what you're asking. Okay, so I'm going to jump in to different rewards that are out there other than where we are right now. I want to start, I kind of have these grouped into categories, guys. So we're going to start with the CPG companies. And what CPG is cost paper goods. So it's your packaged goods that are in the store, like grocery items, those kinds of things. So we have some rewards that are just specifically based on the products that you're purchasing. Most of those revolve around babies. So if you think about it, those are the products that you purchase the most of in your lifetime. So Huggies and Pampers, they've been around the longest. They do have rewards programs that are geared towards folks that are buying their product on a regular basis. You should be doing those if you're in diaper mode. There's no reason to not be doing them. But Huggies has recently made a really great change to their rewards program. So if you have not done Huggies and you've been on the fence, they used to be both the same, where we entered codes off of diapers, but you had to remember to enter the code. And I'm with you. You're trying to put kids to bed. You're not trying to be like, oh, save that code and go downstairs and enter it in the computer. I just want the kids to go to bed. So Huggies kind of realized that people were tired of the code side, and they're going the way that Kellogg's went and our Ibottas and Checkout 51s go. So with Huggies, you can now download the Huggies Rewards app. You can enter a your cards, so I'm mostly going to buy my diapers at CVS and Rite Aid, I can enter my CVS and my Rite Aid cards, and they just tell Huggies that you bought diapers. So I don't have to do anything if I shop at a card-based store. Just like if I shopped for Kellogg's at a card-based store, they're going to tell Kellogg's that I bought those items. So there are some that are going to be definitely easier for you to use than others. But the new Huggies change is going to be a good one and an easy one for parents to use. There are some perks to those programs, guys. If you're in diaper mode, why I'm emphasizing you should be using them, Huggies especially has rewards for just a free pack of diapers. They have rewards for gift cards. They have rewards for high-value coupons. Pampers rewards are not always as good, in my opinion, but there are some coupon rewards in there. So you should be using them if you're regularly purchasing them. So that's Huggies and Pampers. Earth's Best was one of the formula and baby food companies, but they've ended their program. So anyone that did that in the past, that one's gone. The other big food one, guys, is Kellogg's. So I mentioned that just in explaining Huggies, but Kellogg's Family Rewards, that's the name of theirs. That's their website too, in case you've never used any of these, kellogg'sfamilyrewards.com, which, by the way, for those of you on Facebook who are used to my husband plugging in things, he's not going to hop on tonight because he doesn't want to ruin my internet and knock me off completely. So I will come back in if you need me to type in any URLs, and I'll type them in after the fact into the comments, but hopefully you can pick them up as I say them too. So kellogg'sfamilyrewards.com. Kellogg's Family Rewards, you buy Kellogg's products, you earn points for buying Kellogg's products, and the big perk to their rewards program is the coupons. So if I have 850 points, I can get a $1 off coupon, and that's usually a $1 off anything. So a $1 off of cereal, $1 off snacks, Cheez-Its. They own a lot of different brands, but I need 850 points to be able to earn that reward. It's actually not that hard to earn them. I currently have about 6,000 Kellogg's rewards points because they'll run these bonuses. They're running one right now where you buy 10 boxes of Kellogg's over a 3-month period and you get another 1,000 points for doing that. So the 10 boxes alone would get you 1,000 points. You're going to earn 2,000 points for doing that. So you're going to earn those Kellogg's points pretty quickly. Plus they put out little bonus codes from time to time. But you need 850 to earn that $1 off coupon, which is your goal. That's the focus. And y'all are going to see those matched in on the Southern Savers lists all the time. I know they probably drive some of you crazy. I don't have 850 points, but it's really not that tricky to get them, and you should be a part of it. So before we even stop on Kellogg's, one thing I want to emphasize for folks, if you could really care less about entering the receipts or getting points, you still want to sign up for their rewards program. Kellogg's Family Rewards is probably the best rewards program to be a part of for a different reason. You could never earn a point in your lifetime, guys. They send fabulous emails with high-value coupons almost once a week. $1 off 2 any Keebler products. 50 cents off 1 any Cheez-It products. You want those coupons, and the coupons that come in those Kellogg's Family Rewards emails are exclusive to you. So I can't share them on Southern Savers. They won't work for anyone else once I print mine. But you have to sign up for the program. So Kellogg's Family Rewards. Teresa's throwing out another one. There's always more that I don't really think of. Smithfield has Smithfield Bacon Rewards. I know one of our favorite foods in our house, every Sunday night, my husband and I have Chinese food and we watch PBS mystery shows. And Innovation, which is a frozen Chinese entree company, they have a rewards program. So beyond those big 3 that I already mentioned, if there are products that you love, it never hurts to look. Look on the backs of the products. If there's a random code in your product, it's probably there for a reason, and there's probably a reward behind it. So definitely checking out any of those specific product rewards is the way to go. So Teresa, again, mentioned Smithfield Bacon. And then Shanna mentioned Coke. So, just to talk about that one, 2 rewards programs really have died in the last year. Coke did end My Coke Rewards, though you'll still find codes. It's kind of funny because they still have them out, and I have this Sprite right next to me. So you'll still find codes inside products. If you go to My Coke Rewards, the website redirects you And now you can still enter these codes, but you get something immediately. So I get a free song download. I don't know. There are random things. There's sweepstakes there too. I was kind of checking it out earlier today. I don't really know how many folks are going to be all over that. But maybe if you've still got the code and you want to hop on and enter it, you can. Blue Jay says, do we get a lot of junk mail from Kellogg's? Not really. So Kellogg's, for me, I get an email once a week from them and then that email usually has some recipes and I don't have to read the rest of the email. I just skim it really fast for the coupons. But what you can do, and I would actually recommend you guys do this, just hands down, before you get heavy into couponing, you should always get an email account just for coupons. So jennycoupons@gmail.com, whatever you want to make it, so that all of those emails can go here. I still want you to check it. There's coupons in that email, but it's not going to overwhelm you with junk mail, and it's not your personal inbox getting filled with junk mail either. So it just kind of prepares it for you, or prepares your email, makes it okay for you as you're kind of going through. So one more that is CPG product specifically would be Publix. Now, you may not think of these as rewards programs, but Publix has turned a lot of their promotions into rebates that you submit a receipt to get, and you can do them online. So this would be like their stocking spree promotions. They're running one right now with Kellogg's snacks and one with Procter & Gamble products. So you'll see these in the Publix matchups. There's actually a number that line up with the current grocery flyer and the new Publix ad that starts on Wednesday. The Kellogg's one, for example, is buy $30 worth of Kellogg's snack products, not breakfast, snack products, and get a $10 Publix gift card. These are really like a rewards program because you don't have to buy them, most of them anyway, I don't have to buy on the same receipt. I just buy over time and I submit my receipts to then get my reward. That's exactly what it is. They've just taken a different turn on it, but it's the same way. So you're still going to upload a picture of those receipts to their website. So we don't really want to leave Publix out of the spin. It is obviously just for Publix shoppers, but there's a few of them out there. So again, just to quickly mention them, stockingspree.com. And then probably the easiest thing is to go to the coupon database on Southern Savers and type in Publix gift card, and you're going to see each one of them line up. But one for Procter & Gamble, one for Kellogg's, one for Unilever right now, and then Stocking Spree, which Stocking Spree is a weird one. It includes everything from Pepsi products and Quaker products and P&G products, Kellogg's products, Kraft. I mean, it just runs the gamut of specific items. So I don't even know who is funding that one. It's weird when you see big companies that don't have anything to do with each other all aligning for a promotion. So that's almost like a Publix Rewards more than a company-sponsored one. Okay, I'm going to try to catch back up with questions really quick, and then we have a lot more. I love it, Teresa. Thank you. You can always add to our PBS mysteries. We are currently doing on Sunday nights, Father Brown tends to be the one that we watch. We also really like Death in Paradise, kind of strange, but those are our Netflix binging things, all BBC mysteries. We could just be a BBC family if that's what we had to watch. We would be just fine. For the companies, let's see, I think I missed the question. So Driscoll berries have codes on the bottom of them. Shanna also says for you to tell them about the product and you get coupons back on your produce. So not necessarily a rewards one there, but a great way to save a little bit more. CPG is consumer packaged goods is really what CPG stands for, but you'll see like Forbes and everyone else, that's just kind of how they group them all together. Anything sold in a grocery store or a drugstore is consumer packaged good. So CPG industries, all of those. Oh, and Shanna's also mentioning another one. So lots of them on specific brands. Again, like I mentioned, our Chinese innovation, the Ling Cuisine Rewards. I know L'Oreal and folks that color their hair have their own rewards program. So if you have something that you purchase a lot, it's definitely worth looking into if they are out there. Okay, let's see. Try to catch up on the YouTube side too so I don't miss everybody. Let's go store specific. So we have some folks mentioning specific stores. Office Depot, Robin mentions, just started with Office Depot. Are you limited to a number of each item that you can buy to earn their rewards? So we have our CBG, as we just mentioned, and Heidi, we all learned what that meant, which are individual products, but then the stores themselves have rewards, and that's one I really don't want you to miss. Maria, do I have a list of rewards programs? Right here. I'm actually going to type them up and put them all in a post for tomorrow. So I will share that post on Facebook of everything that we talk about tonight, because I kind of never really thought about how many there were until I sat down and put them all on a sheet of paper. But for Office Depot, Robin, to answer your question, yes, there are limits on all of the items that have rewards back with them. It's generally, on most items, a limit of 3 with the Office Depot rewards. Occasionally, it's a limit of 1, but like 98% of the time, it's a limit of 3. So for example, we had penny pens recently. We had completely free pens recently. This was one that we picked up on the way out of town. Those deals are always a limit of 3 when they're specific items like that. They run their Duracell batteries a lot that are a penny after rewards at Office Depot. Always a limit of 3. Now, that particular kind of rewards, we're going to lump Office Depot and Staples together. And Jonathan, yes, I will answer that question. Sorry if I missed it earlier. For Staples and Office Depot, their rewards programs are a lot like the drugstores, guys. So I didn't really mention the drugstores or list the drugstores in this kind of concept. That's really a whole nother video, but it's the same idea. So if you understand going into CVS and buying the item and then getting the value of the reward back, it's really how Staples and Office Depot are working. Office Depot's program really is a reward for that store, though. So I'm earning points that are redeemable off of the next things that I purchase. So for example, if these were $9.99 and you were getting 100% back, I'm going to earn points worth $9.99 back. I get that off of my next purchase. Little hitch for Office Depot, I cannot use those points to buy more things that give me more points. So kind of go Walgreens, I guess, there. But I could use them to buy something big that I wanted, like a printer or whatever it is that you had on your list. So it's still well worth looking into and taking advantage of those deals. Staples is actually a little bit better. Staples used to have that same similar type of rewards program, but Staples is gone really all to be easy rebates. So what these are, you submit them online. You don't have to mail anything in, but what they send you is a Visa gift card. That's awesome. So I may pay full price for this item, but Staples gives me 100% of it back on a Visa gift card. That means I don't have to go back to Staples, guys. I can use that on my groceries, so there's no reason to not take advantage of the Staples ones. Those deals in particular, this week, I listed them separately on the Staples and the Office Depot ads in their own section, rewards deals, so you really can't miss those items. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys, but I know one in particular for Staples is getting paper this week. I think it's a penny. It's either I did both of the ads, so my brain's kind of a blur. It's either a penny at Office Depot and 24 cents at Staples, or the other way around. But that's a ream of paper, super, super cheap, using their rewards. Oh, and Deanna's saying you have been able to use Office Depot points for more items that earn points. Was that recently, Deanna? Because they just made a big, massive overhaul to their rewards program in the last 2 months at Office Depot. And that is one of the fine print, is that if you use points, the points that you get back will be lowered by the amount of points that you used. So I have not tried it. I've been kind of afraid to lose any and kind of following the rules on that one. But if it's been recently, that's great. Cheryl, the points at Office Depot do expire, so you don't want to hold on to them forever. I think you've got a couple of months to use them, but again, it was completely overhauled, so it's still new for all of us that have even been at Office Depot deal hunting for a while. So to answer your question, Jonathan, before I forget, and Jessica kind of chimed in too, really no huge change to Walgreens, except that their points are now going to expire within 1 year. Most of us don't hold on to Walgreens points that long. You're going to be just fine. So don't panic on massive changes Walgreens-wise. That was it. And they started that with a rolling back. So you earned them August a year ago. They're actually going to expire this month. So that might be a kicker for some of you guys that have some really old points, but for most of us, we're going to go on as if it's normal, everyday Walgreens. If it's me, I'm just not even going to go. But for some of you who love Walgreens, you just don't want to miss them. So Teresa, there are some staples in South Carolina. It just depends on where you are. We have a couple in Columbia. I know there are a couple in Greenville, but a lot of these rewards, before you get discouraged, can actually be purchased online. For us, Office Depot is on the complete other side of town, but Office Depot will ship you these rewards items, and their shipping, like the purchase that you need to earn shipping with their rewards programs, really, really low. So you make a $19 purchase or something tiny like that, and you get free shipping. Well, 3 sets of pens that are going to end up being free are usually all over that shipping amount anyway. So you get free shipping on them, and you don't even need to go to a store. Oh, awesome. So Deanna said recently, last month, she bought the batteries with the points, got more points back for the batteries. So that's good. I will test it too on the next set of deals that they run, maybe this week on paper. It's a smaller purchase. I'm more willing to test it and make sure it works. So Walgreens hates me. I'm kind of with you on that, Jessica. It's not the easiest store for new folks to start at. Okay, let's see. If at any point during oh yeah, thanks Heidi. Heidi's helping you guys out. If I don't get to your question, just shoot me a Facebook message, definitely. Sometimes I miss them as they go by, especially when I don't have my husband, because he'll chat them to me and help me not miss them. Sometimes it gets really, really tricky. Let's see. So to jump over here too, Office Depot is really quick at getting your rewards to you. I completely agree. So anyone that's not done Office Depot, this has been one of the greatest changes to their rewards program, is that you used to have to wait sometimes upwards of 4 to 6 weeks to get your rewards. But the changes that they just kicked in, guys, we bought these last week. We already have the rewards for them in the account. We bought the batteries. We already have the rewards for the batteries. So it's super fast now on the new rewards program. You shouldn't be having any issues with them at all. So just so you kind of, and the Staples rewards do take a while to get. So, and even I think it was Shanna was just saying, I'm still waiting on the second Visa card to come from grabbing some things. It can take a little bit longer with Staples to get those items. Okay, so to jump to some other ones, that's Staples and Office Depot, which really is timely, guys. They've got so many deals running with back to school that you should be taking advantage of their rewards. There's a lot of others too. So to kind of run down the list versus spending tons of time on each one of them, I want to make sure we at least mention them. If these are regular stores that you shop in, it is always worth looking into. So let me emphasize that first, I guess, before we run down the list. Taking advantage of rewards programs takes you possibly no time. Some of them it's just going to be that you sign up one time and you link your card. You're going to get something from it in return. And it may not be amazing, but it is going to be something. And if it's a store that you regularly shop in, you should be a part of it. So an example for us that I've shared in the past, because we have a farm, Tractor Supply is a store that we're in all the time. And the day that they rolled out a rewards program, my husband came home with the flyer. I mean, he was ready. We were signed up. We're good to go. Tractor Supply has a rewards program. So he got the excitement of that too. It's not that amazing. He actually logged in tonight to see how much he'd earned, and he was really bummed that it hadn't been tracking right. But if a store that you regularly shop in has a rewards program, you should be signed up for it and taking advantage of it. And not missing out on whatever the offers are, even if it's just coupons, like the Kellogg's Rewards. So AC Moore and Michael's, go craft store first, both have rewards programs. Both are linked to a card. So all you have to do is register one time, and you are going to be kind of set to earn those rewards. Typically, like AC Moore's is kind of high. But when you spend, or when you earn 2,000 points, you get a $10 certificate, and those points are $1 spent is $1 point. So it's a lot of points. But if you are, I think it's if you spend over $100, you get double points on that purchase. So there are some ways to earn some points a little faster. Laura, I love it. See, they're like proud of themselves when they find that savings. Oh, and Heidi, the Tractor Supply program again it's a same when you spend a certain amount, you get a $5 certificate sent. It also, one way, guys, that this is helping you, you may never earn anything with those rewards programs, but what you're doing, if it's a store you regularly shop in, is telling them, I shop here and I love you. And you're letting them put you on their advertising list. You want to be on their advertising list. Since he signed up at Tractor Supply's rewards program, and he may not even put 2 and 2 together on this, but our amount of mailings from Tractor Supply has probably increased 3 times as much as what we were getting, and most of those have 10% off coupons on them. At which point, the chicken farmers in our little hearts are excited. That's a lot of chicken food and dog food and everything else that we are grabbing from Tractor Supply with those 10% off coupons. You're giving them your name and saying, please mail me your offers. I love coming here. So there's lots of reasons to sign up for rewards programs beyond just earning the points and the rewards from your purchase. But that's what you are going to get if you haven't already, is the certificates off of your next purchase. So Jessica says Ace Hardware. That's actually the next one on my list. Ace Hardware does have one of the best ones for home improvement. So if you've got a tiny little Ace Hardware down the street and you're still going to Lowe's and Home Depot, that's fine. But Ace Hardware's rewards program is actually, it is pretty decent, as Jessica says. So you're going to earn gift certificates back off of your next purchase after you spend every so much in the store. But it also gives their reward holders extra coupons and extra rebates, which for them are like almost like Office Depot rewards. You buy the items and you get mail-in rebates, gift card rebates back on items, but they're more just for Ace Rewards members. So more that are out there. Oh, Ace does not take manufacturer's coupons. That is good to know, Jessica. We don't have one near us. We are part of their rewards program if we ever do go there, but it's pretty far away for us. Another one to mention for your husbands so that they can feel proud of their savings is AutoZone. AutoZone actually has a really good one. For every 5 $20 or more purchases that you make, you earn a $20 certificate off your next purchase. So that's pretty decent. It's like 20% rewards on your spending. That is just AutoZone. So anyone that if you miss the store. Let's see, Regal. Regal has a really great one. A lot of these are app-based too, so you join the Regal Crown Club, which you get a card in Regal, but the Regal app actually gives you more rewards, so you want to kind of take it to a new level. Has really good incentives to be loyal to Regal Cinemas. One of those, I haven't even maxed out fully, but somebody emailed me, and I keep meaning to stick it into a post. But if you're a Regal Crown Club member, that's so hard to say, and you go to the movies on Tuesday nights, you earn double points, you can get super cheap popcorn, all of these things. I just have to remember to start planning date nights on Tuesday nights, but we may go to a movie twice a year. We aren't so great at movies, but that is a good one. They're one of the only theaters that has as good of a program as they do. So Regal Crown Club. We would also be wrong to not mention Kmart, Sears, and Land's End and their Shop Your Way rewards program. Not a ton of folks are still shopping at Kmart, Sears, and Land's End, but if you are, Shop Your Way rewards is a decent way to get some extra points. Plus, they're desperate for people to shop right now. I know I've gotten an email once a week for the last probably 3 weeks with surprise points to go and spend. Their goal is that they give you like $9 worth of surprise points, and hopefully you're going to go and buy 30 or 40 bucks worth of things. But if you're already going to go in the store, it's worth heading in and loading into your account. And Jessica, I'm with you. So most of those stores are closing, but you can use them online. I'm going to give you a heads up on that one, by the way, guys. We're only giving you a heads up like 3 hours early. I don't know if I'm even not supposed to share it. But tomorrow, I didn't know this, but I learned it today in an email. Tomorrow is the 50th birthday of the backpack. And Land's End, who has, I think, personally, some of the best backpacks out there, is running 50% off and free shipping on all their backpacks and their lunch boxes. Starting tomorrow. It's only tomorrow, actually. So don't miss that. That's pretty awesome. And since we were just talking Shop Your Way rewards, use those if you have them. You can definitely earn them from your purchase at Lands' End because they're owned by Kmart and Sears, parent company. But that is tomorrow only, 50% off of backpacks and lunch boxes. They sent out a press release earlier today. So it was interesting to learn the backpacks are going to have a birthday tomorrow. O'Reilly's, Sarah says, sends out random gift cards when you spend a certain amount. So that would be another one. I mentioned AutoZone already, but O'Reilly's, if you're headed in on that side. And Laura is right too. So I mentioned you can shop online. You can totally use your Shop Your Way rewards online as well. So it's okay if you don't have any near you. Just use them online. Kind of like my mentioning of the Staples and the Office Depot. So Heidi says, can we mention Food Lion's new rewards? And Heidi, I know you emailed me about them too. Because I rarely shop in a Food Lion, I actually don't know much about them, Heidi. And I need to go digging and research and learn them. But in terms of finding something that is a stump Jenny, you have done it. Because I can't speak on that one other than what I know from what you emailed me in the past. But you know what? I will make it homework for me tonight so that we can kind of answer back on it. The problem for me with Food Lion is that anything that they do, they don't always do forever. They kind of dabble in things, and then they see that that doesn't work, and they give up on it, and they try something else out. So I would be a little hesitant on, getting super excited about a rewards program, and it may more be that they're making it more like a loyalty program so that the more that you shop, the more coupons you're getting in your account. But I will check into it and try to get anything back. And if anyone else has, things to chime in on for Food Lion, that would be great to help everybody else out. Two more that are store specific, and then Jonathan, I'm totally going in the direction you are, which is food. Thanks, Laura. You should give her a pat on the back. I don't know anything about that rewards program. So Petsmart and Petco, I wanted to mention them as well in terms of store specific. They both have, they're cards, it's their in-store card savings, but they've both made a pet club that is separate from their card. You can log and attach your card to it, but joining the Petco Pet Club and the Petsmart Pet Club, basically, I think they pretty much named them both the same, gives you added bonuses of coupons off of products. So a lot of us got them a month ago. They came out. I know mine expired on July 4th, so it was right out a month ago for a free bag of pet food, any size up to a certain value. That's awesome. And the only way to get those coupons was to be part of their pet club. So you want to take advantage of those. That's not necessarily rewards in that you earn certificates back from your purchase, but it's that extra incentive, like I mentioned, that some rewards that are out there, I want to sign up just because I want you to know that I love you. That's why I'm signing up. I want you to market to me. Please send me your coupons. And that's one of those moments. So you're getting those really high value offers on pet food. If you're already in the pet land and you want them, you should be getting them. So let's go restaurants, since that's where folks are. Jonathan mentioned Chick-fil-A, Dale's mentioning Sonic, and Teresa's mentioning Panera. You're like filling in the list that I'd already written down. So tons of restaurants have added reward sides to their restaurants. Guys, the restaurant industry, if you've ever heard this before, I don't know, but they are the first sign of how the economy is doing. Because if you are running out of money, the first thing you do is you stop eating out. So when the restaurant industry starts to panic, they start to try to fill in with more rewards and more incentives and more coupons to get you to come out to the stores. And that's kind of what they're doing, not trying to, scare anybody, but we're definitely seeing a huge influx of this, and a lot of them are using mobile apps to do it. So what I would recommend here, I am a little bit of a mobile app organizational junkie. I cannot handle pages and pages of just tons of apps. Which is the complete opposite of my husband, by the way. If I need to find something on his phone, he just has to find it for me. But I have everything in little buckets. So I have a bucket just for dining out, and all my dining out apps are in that little box. And one that's just for store apps, and Walgreens and Target, and all my store apps are in that one. I would totally go that route to help organize all of these apps to help you save in restaurants. But to hit the big list, Chick-fil-A, as Jonathan mentioned, is huge, guys. I feel like every time I go to Chick-fil-A, we get a free treat from them we're a big family, so when we go to Chick-fil-A, we probably are hitting whatever their threshold is for treats, and they keep that hidden. You don't actually know how many points you earn or how many points you need. But personally, if you're still going through the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A, that is old school. And new school is using the app. Now, I don't know if I should be telling you that because you're just going to make the line slower for us that are using the app. But by the time I drive into the Chick-fil-A parking lot, I have already ordered. I just have to walk in the door and pick it up. That's pretty sweet. And you're earning free products for having done that. So pretty much every time we go, we're always getting a free salad, a free milkshake, whatever. The treats change, but you should be doing that. So that's Chick-fil-A. Moe's has a rewards app as well. You're earning points every time you shop at Moe's. You scan your card at checkout to earn these things, or scan your phone at checkout, guys, to earn these things. Tropical smoothie, the list is long. So Sonic, they all kind of work the same way. Taco Bell, Teresa's mentioning, and even some that I have never heard of before. So Cane's Chicken has a reward card. I think we could get really local with some of those, definitely. Wendy's, Dale says, sends out emails for free things. But yes, so many of these, especially fast food companies, have apps, and you should be using them. Chili's, you guys may not realize, is part of the Plenty program. So you're already earning Plenty points in Buy Low and Rite Aid stores. At Macy's, you can actually earn Plenty points to eat at Chili's. Kind of can keep going down the list. Jessica's mentioning Jersey Mike's. If you're eating in a restaurant, I guess long story short, you should be looking for a mobile app for that restaurant, which is going to have the rewards program for the mobile app. And if it kills your battery, one thing you can do, someone was mentioning, no, I don't like anything that kills my battery either. I'm right there with you, Jessica. If it kills your battery, then I load the app when I'm headed to the store, and it comes right off as soon as I go there. We don't eat out a ton, so having all of those on the phone really isn't needed. Chick-fil-A permanently lives on the phone because if we travel, it's a very healthy place to eat if you know the right things to order. So it tends to be where we're going to stop if we're on the go. But other than that, they stay on for us to order, and then they go right away, and then just find them again in the App Store and load them again if you need them later. How do you use Plenty or get Plenty points at Chili's? So Jessica, if you go to plenty.com, you can search for Chili's, and it'll walk you through how to earn those. I'm trying to remember what we even did, but it is a process to be able to earn them. And I don't know if it's whether we had to link a credit card. Once you've done it, you don't ever have to do it again, if that helps. But you start at Plenty's website, so plenty.com, and then just find Chili's in the list of retailers, and it'll tell you what to do. Sorry to not know exactly how we did that one. And I guess because it's something you do once and never have to do again, my brain just didn't hold on to that information. Laura is mentioning that even IKEA has a rewards program. They do, and IKEA has also been sending out some really good coupons lately. Shanna says, when you have two adults who can use apps together, always go inside. When you're in the car, they give you a hard time using more than one phone. I could imagine that. I could see that needing to happen. How do I feel? This is a great question, Esther. How do you feel about adding your debit card to a rewards program, and every time you pay with the card, you get points? So Esther, I'm hesitant to add my debit card to any kind of rewards program unless it is through the bank. So some banks have started like a separate rewards program with debit cards because they realize that they can't compete with where credit cards are going. And that's actually where I want us to get to before we run out of time, because that's a big question that I get from folks, is the credit card side of things. So banks realize that we get some pretty sweet incentives to use a credit card that we don't get with a debit card, and some banks have rolled out a debit card perks kind of points program. I'd be completely fine with that if it was run by my bank. If it's not run by my bank, I'm very hesitant to give out debit card information. If your debit card is leaked, getting the money back can be somewhat of a nightmare. There are some, coverages, and they are supposed to do things right, but it doesn't always happen. And we've had some of that issue just in personal family issues, not from a debit card, but from checks, but still just not going to go there. Credit cards, that money, I never even felt the pain of that money, because while you may have inappropriately used my credit card, the money was dealt with and never even billed most of the time. Never even going to have to pay that amount, where the debit card, you felt it. It was out of your account, and you may be bouncing checks in the process of trying to deal with what just happened. That's the scary part there. So only a bank point-based system would I actually do. Oh, and Tawana has a great point as well. Don't forget to add your birthday to get all sorts of free stuff emailed to you. On all of these rewards programs, you should totally be putting in your birthday. However, I would recommend, since we're talking safety online, that you put in a pretend year. You know, if you're 18, let's not make yourself 21, but most of us, we have far surpassed 21. So put in a year that's a year ahead or a year behind, doesn't really matter there. But that way it's not your specific birthday, as that is one of the items that people need to open bank accounts and other things in your name. So just don't necessarily put your specific birthday out there. My husband on Facebook has his wrong birthday, and all of the birthday requests that come in, he just kind of giggles at it. It's fun for him, as nobody really knows. Facebook told everyone it was his birthday, so they said happy birthday. Okay, let's talk credit cards really quick as we go there in comments too. Trying to make sure I'm not missing anything else. So Deb, let's answer your question first, then we'll go comments. Deb says, I noticed that the sale prices on Southern Savers are different in Indiana. Is there a way to see different states' prices, like by zip codes? So Deb, actually, sale prices that are on Southern Savers, it's not necessarily Indiana specific, but if and this may be new for some of you guys too, stores' prices can differ just from across town. So with sale prices, especially BOGOs, you want to pick a store that is not in a super trendy, super popular, lots of shops everywhere nearby. They cost more to shop at. Now, depending on where you are, Indiana is definitely a different meat and produce market. So your meat and produce items are usually never going to line up on the same list. You know, if you were trying to use it for a Kroger list or something like that, it isn't going to be a perfect match for you for those specific lists, because you're in a different region. But for everything else on a list, those prices could differ from just one little city in Georgia to another little city in Georgia. And there's no way for me to know that, because every store's pricing is different. And the reason for that is that they allow every grocery store to have their own little profit margin padding put in. So if I'm shopping in a store, like in Columbia, where I live anyway, we have a Publix that is in like mega shopping metropolis area. That is the most expensive Publix in town to shop at. Most of the BOGOs are going to be almost 50 cents more each per item over a BOGO for a Publix 10 miles away. So it's kind of learning what store in your area is the cheapest one to shop at. So let's talk credit cards really quick. And I know at this moment, like some of my Dave Ramsey loyalists are going to flip out. Guys, this is one area where I have to say I completely disagree with Dave Ramsey. I do agree with him in the sense that if you cannot manage to pay off your credit card every single month, and you do not view it as like this is a checking account basically, and the bill must be paid. There is no we're going to pay it halfway. It is a bill, and we're going to pay the full amount of the bill. If you can't handle that, then no, you shouldn't have credit cards. But if you can, and you can pay it off every single month, then you should have at least one. And the rewards that are back on some of these cards are totally worth having. So I mentioned Marriott. This is where I would recommend with a credit card that you ponder a few different things. So I want to ponder, is there somewhere that I go to a lot or that I want to go to a lot? Is there a company that I tend to always use? So for us, we were already earning Marriott Rewards because we were staying Marriott. You know, years ago, I used to teach upwards of 12 to 13 workshops a month. It was kind of insane. And our children are expert packers now because they had to pack for themselves. for us to do that, we were basically gone every single weekend. Well, we started to stay in Marriott's and earn loyalty. That loyalty pays off by having elite status. Elite status then gets you, better rooms and cheaper rates and free nights, all sorts of things like that. If that's where you're already going, then having a credit card to that brand is the next step. And the reason for that is that if I have a Marriott credit card, I earn 5 times the points on Marriott purchases than I would with a Chase credit card or with another rewards credit card. There are still great rewards that are out there, but if this is what I'm doing all the time, then that's the credit card that I would recommend. If you're flying a ton for work, you're going to earn more points with that airline's credit card on those airline purchases. So considering that specific brand. Outside of specific brands, though, the number one company right now is going to be, or number two, I guess, to kind of go neck and neck, Chase Rewards, Chase Freedom Rewards, Chase Sapphire Rewards, depends on where your credit score is as to which one you'll qualify for, is usually ranked number 1 for a lot of folks. And then American Express is ranked number 2. So a lot of you have mentioned American Express Blue Cash giving 6% back at Publix and Winn-Dixie, and someone else mentioned CVS earlier. So those are the number 1 and number 2. So Chase Rewards and Amex. The reason those rewards points that you're earning, and some of those were cash back and not rewards points, but the points programs between Chase and Amex, they actually have really good programs worked out to where you can do point transfers. So if I've gone Chase Freedom Rewards or Chase Sapphire Rewards, for example, I can redeem those points on any major airline pretty much on a 1-to-1 ratio, meaning I have 20,000 Chase points, I now have 20,000 United points or 20,000 American points. Instead of being loyal to one airline brand, I now have all of them. And we're actually kind of stuck in that boat. I want to take a fun trip next year, but I want to pay for it with rewards points. So, not having a lot of airline points, but having a lot of Marriott points puts us in a bucket that's a tricky one. I can transfer Marriott points to an airline, and a lot of the hotels do allow you to do that, but it's not on a 1-to-1 ratio. So I lose a lot of value by transferring out of Marriott and into United, where with Chase, you're not going to do that. So that's one thing to consider when you're looking at a rewards card is, okay, I've got your rewards, I have your bucket of points that you've given me, what can I get with them, and what's the value of your points? So that's what you want to look at. And Chase, just across the board, gets ranked best by everybody that ranks anybody. So Forbes recently put out a list. I actually have a link that I will stick in chat that Forbes has done that ranks the top 5 hotels and the top 5 airlines. And I'll stick that in the comments as soon as we're done tonight so that you guys can see it. And YouTube folks, I guess I can stick in right now for you guys. But that is helpful to see as you're trying to ponder which one to go to. But hopefully that makes sense as you're trying to pick a different program to go with too. Do I go specific on a program, or do I like a specific brand, or do I go with Chase Rewards or Amex Rewards and use those points somewhere else? Chase has definitely kind of taken the cake on the ease of it all, though. Let's see. Oh, and Tina does have the point that if you want to use American Express, a lot of retailers no longer accept it. So it does make it tricky to use and actually earn the points. So that is one thing to consider before you go the American Express side. So as I mentioned, these credit cards, I guess I'll explain how we use them. So we have 2, and we are using one for business expenses because you have to keep things separate, guys. The government gets kind of grumpy. So one is business expenses, and all business expenses go on that card, even recurring ones. So web hosting, whatever it might be, is going on a card. We're earning points for that, and then we're paying it off at the end of the month. Household, if I go to the grocery store, it's all going on a credit card. And we decided that a couple of years ago when everybody was having their systems hacked that we would no longer use a debit card in stores. So we use a credit card for most of our purchases in the stores. That is then paid off at the end of the month, but we're earning points back on that card for all of our purchases. So it just depends on your regular, purchases. But I even know folks who pay the electricity bill and the water bill. We don't go there. We don't have a water bill, but we don't put the electricity bill or any of those on a credit card. But you could totally go there if they allowed it, as long as you pay it off at the end of the month. Hopefully I've emphasized that enough for folks. But that is a huge way to be racking up those points to then redeem for other things. So to give you an idea, for us with Marriott, our loyalty with Marriott, not only for first signing up for the program. I mean, how many of you have stayed in a hotel recently in the last 6 months and you weren't part of their rewards program? Because every hotel has a rewards program. There is no reason to be flying somewhere or sleeping somewhere and not be part of their rewards program. But the perks for us, just to explain what we have earned, and keep in mind this has been almost 9 years of staying Marriott, was this year for us. We actually achieved platinum lifetime status. Who knew it even existed? But when you have enough nights and enough points that you've earned, we have it forever. So that is their top status. You earn the elite status, which, yay, it gives us a free gift when we check in and other little things like that. But the real thing there is the number of points. So the higher you are up in any of these rewards programs, elite status-wise, and this is going to be all your airlines and all your hotels, the higher your elite status, the more points you earn. So if I'm a normal Marriott person and I stay, I earn maybe a point for every dollar I spend. But if I have moved up the ranks, someone that's platinum is earning 1.5 or 2.5 times the number of points that someone who isn't is earning. So the more loyal you are, the more they're rewarding you, and that's across the board for all of those programs. So then earning those points and then redeeming them gives you free nights. So for us right now, we have a ton of Marriott Rewards points, pretty much enough that I could probably go live at the beach for like 5 weeks if I wanted to. I'm not going to. They don't expire as long as you're still earning them, so we just hold on to them. And I was the kid who never used my crayons in school because I might use them up, so we'll probably have Marriott points when we die. But just gives you, I guess, that view of why you should be loyal in a sense. You're earning a lot, but you're also saving a lot. I'm now, because I've been loyal, I'm earning more points and more rewards to do that. Some of these also you get other incentives. So our Marriott status actually got us elite status with United. We get elite status with Hertz. I don't actually rent cars very often, but it's there. If you're traveling a ton, that elite status is flowing over, and a lot of the hotels offer that. So I'm using Marriott because I know it, but it's the same for Hilton. It's the same for Wyndham, all of the programs that are out there. So it's worth looking into. Jessica says, does booking through sites like Hotwire make it so that you don't get points? It's a really good question. It depends, actually. So usually with Marriott anyway, if I booked through a separate entity, as long as I still give my Marriott number when I check in at the hotel, I still earn points by giving them my Marriott number. It's not necessarily how I paid. That will have something to do with how many points I earn, but the night stay is counting too. So the same with United, for example, or American Airlines. They aren't just looking at how much you spent. They're looking at how many times you flew with them to give you status. So you could still be counting your nights slept there, maybe not your points earned, but you should always still be giving them your card number or your loyalty number whenever you're using one of those businesses, definitely. Dee Dee says, joining AAA will also give you hotel discounts. It will, and you can actually use those discounts on those websites. So with Marriott, we tend to actually just book through Marriott.com because they have guarantees that their rate will be the lowest rate for Marriott members over anywhere else. So you could still go to Hotwire and look, and Marriott would then give you the credit back if you do the research. So we book through Marriott, and when we're booking through Marriott, yes, we're going to earn points, but we can still use our AAA rates when we do that as well. So we can go below that member's rate that they're even quoting if you wanted to go that way. But that way, and Heidi, you're not necessarily wrong. It's just still get the night counted. You may not earn points from it, but still get the night counted. And that's totally going to vary by brand because they're all owned by different folks. So La Quinta is a Choice hotel and in the Choice brands. And I want to say they were just purchased by Wyndham or somebody. So things are changing too as all of the hotels are kind of re-conglomerating into bigger conglomerates. Marriott just bought all of SPG, all the Starwood Group hotels. Marriott's probably the biggest now that's out there, but Wyndham's trying to get even better. Robin's chiming in and saying, what does Taco Bell do? So someone mentioned on the YouTube side, Robin, Taco Bell and downloading their app. I'm not specific on what exactly they do because I can't tell you the last time I ate at Taco Bell, but it's through their app is where you're going to get the savings. I know it's probably going to be coupons and that type of extra savings for you, and then tracking your purchases. That's really what the apps are for, tracking your purchases so they can reward you from them. Let's see. Trying to make sure I didn't miss anything on my list either. Jessica says half the time I don't even know what brand I'm staying at. I could kind of see that's how we used to be, I guess, before we decided that we were going to stick with this and we were going to try to achieve an elite status at the start. And then, honestly, the elite status is what tends to keep people loyal. Once you earn that elite status, it's hard to go back. You do get the discounts. You can get some extra kind of easy discounts, but it's also just how fast you're earning points. So we actually used a number of points this year. You would never even know it looking at our Marriott account. And that is not just because we're staying there. We do have the Marriott credit card that we're using with it. But elite status is helping us earn those points even faster too. So it might be one of those, normally, like, it's almost the opposite of what I would tell you guys in the grocery store. Seriously, I would say never be loyal to anything in the grocery store. But when it comes to travel, your loyalty can really end up paying off, especially if you travel a lot. So I have a cousin who is an editor for one of the textbook companies and is traveling constantly. She is loyal to Hilton, and you know it's almost like a rivalry in a sense is what it's become, but it's more silly. But her exact response is the same. Once you earn that kind of elite status and that loyalty, yeah, exactly, Heidi. You don't want to go from being someone to being no one, but it's the perks that are coming with it. So it's the huge discounts on rental cars for her because she's going to need those in every city, and the other kind of the flow over to other programs that status is also giving you could be one. So Shanna wants to get us out of hotel land and says, let's not forget about electric accounts and belonging to a co-op. Yes, and there are also rewards programs with some electric accounts depending on where you live. So if that is open to you, there are the possibilities of earning points for those, and or just saving through a co-op if one's in the area. And one other thing I wanted to mention, they've been around for ages and we used to mention them a ton because they had extra ways of earning, is Recycle Bank. So it's recyclebank.com. Recycle Bank, you're getting rewards for, sometimes it's taking a quiz or learning something about saving the environment in some form or fashion, but some of you in select cities across the U.S. are actually eligible for earning points when you recycle. When you put your recycling bucket at the end of the curb, you're earning Recycle Bank points. And if you're in one of those cities, you should be taking advantage of that. Recycle Bank points can be redeemed for a number of rewards, but some of those rewards are actually grocery coupons. There's a lot of buy one, get one, Happy Family baby food coupons right now on their website. There have been a number of Turkey Hill organic ice cream coupons. They also have magazines. So if you've been, if you just have just a few points, actually it doesn't take a ton, 240 points will get you a free year subscription to probably 20 to 25 different magazines. Some of them are good, Real Simple, Martha Stewart. That's where we would tend to use most of our Recycle Bank points, completely for grabbing the discounts on magazines. Laura says she still uses them for the coupons on healthy food. So there's other ways to earn points on their site. You don't have to have the bucket at the end of the street recycle program, but Recycle Bank's a fun one that's online to still be earning those points. We don't have Recycle Bank in my area, so we can still earn those points. We've still gotten our magazines from just the online quizzes and things that they'll run that offer points. And your points don't expire, so you can kind of earn them and save them up for those items if you wanted to. I just had a problem with JCPenney's with my ATM card being linked to the app, and they took my money very fast, but getting my money back hasn't been so easy. I've received a third back in small dollars. So Robin, I agree with you. So I wouldn't, just kind of all around, I wouldn't use a debit card for really any app, or it's just a scary place to put a debit card out there and not being able to get your money back if a problem happens like you kind of experienced. It can really be a big, huge headache. So what is the best credit card to have? So Wanda, what I was mentioning, if you want just kind of general points to use at a whole bunch of places, Chase Freedom Rewards and Chase Sapphire Rewards, they're one of them. It depends on what your credit score is, but those are the best programs in terms of rankings from a number of companies and from customer reviews on how you're going to be able to turn around those points and use them for something else. So hopefully that helps if you're in the search for it right now, and always look for incentives. So I want to say Chase Freedom Rewards is currently offering 40,000 or 50,000 points for signing up. Guys, that's enough to fly to Europe. Just so you know, it's enough to get a round trip ticket to Europe for one person. So leave everyone else at home and go yourself. Chase Sapphire Rewards, I want to say, is running an 80,000 point sign up right now. But to earn those points with Sapphire, just to kind of put the two apart, it's a pretty big spend that's needed in the first 3 months. So that's really the difference, is how much you're going to put on those cards. Most everybody's going to be in the Freedom Rewards. But if you were looking for a business card for some regular payments that you were just going to put on a credit card, you could probably hit the spend that was needed on Chase Sapphire to earn that 80,000 bonus. But most of us are going to be just fine on the Freedom Rewards to earn the 40 or 50,000 that they're currently offering. And that's huge. One little tip on credit cards. We've already covered that we're going to totally pay them off. I don't know how many times now, but Chase is going to hold you. This is a little inside tip. Chase will only allow you to get 5 Chase cards, this sounds kind of crazy, in a 24-month period. So if you're thinking, I'm going to get this card, and then I'm going to get the points on this card and the points on that card, only 5. And keep in mind that Chase runs a ton of cards. So Chase runs the United card, and Chase runs an Amazon card comes from Chase. There are a couple different Amazon cards though. So if you were to go and be like, okay, we're going to take advantage of a number of these, 5's your limit over 24 months. So just a inside tip on that one. And Cheryl has, yeah, Chase Slate's good too. Yeah, I know, Heidi, this really doesn't hold a lot of people back, but some people are on kind of a points kick, and their goal is to travel the world for the next year and to not spend any money to do it. Well, they're going to need a lot of points from a lot of cards, and they're kind of getting them, hitting the bonus, and then getting another one. That's really what they are. They're no longer using the last one, so don't think about it as they're, keeping 5 cards going. They got this one and they earned the bonus after 3 months, and then they switched to this one and they earned the bonus after 3 months because that's how long they take. So in a 24-month period, you would have used that up every 3 months, and you would want more if you were on the points kick. That's really what it is. But I get you. I'm right there with you on it's not something that's going to bug most of us on maxing out the number of points. Okay, we hit most of them. Oh, I see one that I didn't mention. That's Disney, guys. Disney Movie Rewards has been around for ages, and you get codes on the insides of your movies. You enter those codes onto their website and you earn points, and those points actually can give you free movies. So it's totally worth entering, but Disney Movie Rewards has another side that's totally worth entering as well. A lot of those codes, you may not even realize it, but entering those codes into Disney Movie Rewards also gives you access to that movie digitally online forever. This is incredibly awesome. Disney created a program that no other real, all of a sudden my brain's gone on words, movie company has created, and it's called Disney Movie Anywhere, Disney Movies Anywhere. So when I go to Disney Movie Rewards and I enter that code inside the movie, and it pops in that I bought a digital, so you'll, when you buy the Blu-ray, DVD digital combo pack, that's giving you your digital side, but you'll notice if you go to your Amazon account, the movie is now loaded into your Amazon account. If I go to all these other places that you could be grabbing movies, if they link in with Disney Movies Anywhere, then it's going to automatically be in your account if you link your Disney account to your Amazon account, which takes 2 seconds. So definitely going through and entering all your codes. We actually sat down and did this probably in the last 3 months. My husband went through all the DVDs in the house looking for Disney codes just to get the digital versions of all of those. So don't miss Disney Movie Anywhere and Disney Movie Rewards at all. Okay, so Jessica says, on the bad credit thing, I started couponing because my husband got laid off 3 times in a year. Are there any good cards with rewards that are for bad credit? Yes, Jessica, there are some. And let me send you some links for those rather than trying to remember URLs correctly. So I will just sit here and enter them when we're done and reply to you back in the comments. Probably the easiest way to go. And it also probably would make for a good post too, so I'll try to put it up on the site. But there are some good credit cards for kind of rebuilding on that. There's also some good tips in general. So one, if you are trying to rebuild and you already have a credit card, the biggest tip I can give you is that you never cancel your oldest card. So both my husband and I have a card. It's the same account, but it is a Bank of America credit card. It has 0 rewards. It earns us absolutely nothing. We will never use that credit card. I can't even tell you the last time we put something on the credit card, but the account is open. The reason for that is that one of the biggest dings on your credit report is the length of time that you've had credit. So never close your oldest credit card. It can be paid off, you can lock the card, you can cut the cards up for all I care to where you can never use them, and we don't. It has no perk for us to use it, but never close it because closing that oldest account then makes your credit history all of a sudden massively shorter than it is. So that particular card I had in college, and I added him to the account. I left college a long time ago, so we don't want to ever close off that date. It's a very old date for us. The other thing too is the number, another easy one is the number of hits on your credit report in a certain period of time. So again, Chase has that 5-time limit. Let's not do all 5 of them in the next 3 months. We wouldn't want that many hits at the same time, but not closing your oldest card automatically, hands down, is a huge tip for you. Another one, and this is a strange tip, when we first started getting credit cards and we were trying to be really, really conscious of our spending, we called the companies and told them that we never wanted them to raise the rates. I would love for them not to raise the rates too, but we never wanted them to raise the spending limit. That's really what I meant. And that is actually the wrong way to do it. We didn't realize at the time we were really trying to not have a card with a massive amount that could be liable. And we've never really kept a balance, but we were trying to be smart about it. And that's actually wrong. So what they want to see is your debt to credit ratio. So if I have a credit card with this crazy $30,000 limit on it, but I have a 0 balance because I pay it off every month, then you look awesome because your debt to credit ratio is really, really low. Now, if I have one credit card with a max limit of $2,000 and no amount on it, so it's $2,000 to 0, that's good, but then I have a mortgage, and my mortgage is just a ton. My debt to credit ratio is actually really high, and that's not what I want. So that's what they're looking for. Michelle kind of puts it in other words. Borrowing power is always a plus. So don't do what we did. And yes, we were, 22 and trying to be wise as we first got married. We've since learned the error of that way. But those would be two just easy things that you could do already with a card that you had, and maybe even do it together. Maybe on the same card. I have a card that's 20 years old, and I call them and I ask for a credit increase, and then I cut the card up and I never use it. All you've done is increase that ratio for yourself and the length of time on your credit report. And I can try to put all of that on your in a post as well. Now Shannon's kind of pointing out another one of having multiple high limit credit cards can hurt your score because lenders will look at that as high risk. And that's not necessarily going to affect the score side, but it will affect what the lenders can look at. So no, you don't want to go and get all 5 of those Chase cards and have all 5 of those Chase cards at $25,000 limits either. You're correct on that one, Shannon. So I really wouldn't recommend that you have more than 2 credit cards, and having those at high limits, it shouldn't really affect too much. We're not going to let's not go into having 5, but we also don't want to close those accounts either a ton. So just pick 2 max and stick with them. What do we think about the Bank of America cashback rewards that auto deposits money back into your account? I've already earned $100 this year and don't really spend that much as a single person. So Jamie, I will tell you, most of the cashback rewards versus point rewards usually tend to be on the same ratio, but you want to compare ratios before you decide to go 100% into a cashback or 100% into a rewards. Am I earning 1 point per dollar, and is that equating to the same thing that I'm earning over here? Do they have the same value? With cashback rewards, it can be great because I'm not earning rewards that I then have to turn around and use somewhere else. I'm earning cash back into my card. The tricky part with cashback reward cards, and I don't necessarily know about Bank of America's specific one, is that a lot of times you're earning a higher rate on specific products, and those are changing. I know the Discover It card, for example, they rotate through what I'm earning cash back on and what that percentage is all the time. I don't want to have to keep track of that, of what's earning higher this month. Or one of the cards lets you pick what you want to earn more on for the next 3 months. That to me is way too much to have to keep track of. I just want the same cash back and it not to really be a big, what is it this month? How do I change it kind of thing. So those would be the things that I would be looking at. But if you're already earning a ton from it, then you're doing great. And I would say the card's working for you really, really well in terms of earning back on what you're hopefully not paying them. That's what I love about rewards credit cards. I'm not paying you a dime because I'm never going to carry a balance, but you can give me all the rewards in the world. I will fully take advantage of all of them, and that's really where we should all be. So let's see. Oh, and yeah, Shannon, Best Buy and Rooms to Go will close your accounts if you don't use them. So will a lot of the individual store cards. So if you're holding on to them, the major banks will not usually. So that Bank of America card, I don't know the last time we used it, but it's just sat there. They still mail us checks almost every single month. But just so you're kind of good on the bigger company cards, but not the individual store cards. Okay. I think we're caught up. We're a little bit over on time. It was a fun topic. It kept us all going, and hopefully learned a few things in it. We are going to do coupon organization next week, which is an oldie for some of you, but we always get some great questions out of it too, and I'll at least have show and tell for that and make it a little bit easier to explain. So I will see you guys next Monday night at 8:30. Same time, same place. And as Heidi mentioned earlier, if you've ever got questions in between now and then, you can always send me a Facebook message or send me an email. I'm not always as fast with email, but I try. So Jenny@SouthernSavers.com, or send a message just straight through the Southern Savers Facebook page works as well. So you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you again next week, or maybe pop in and share other deals as we find them. I hope you guys have a good week though, and for those of you who have school starting back, I hope it's not too stressful, because that's where we are in this week too. So take care, and thanks for joining me tonight.